All this week, the I-Team has been meticulously checking septic tanks at city parks to make sure your kids are safe. Today, the I-Team covered 21 different parks across Jacksonville, which are represented by the blue dots on this map. The red and green dots are parks we visited earlier this week, bringing the total to 57 city parks visited and inspected by the I-Team. Channel 4's Jim Piggott begins our report this evening with a curious discovery he made at a West Side park.
We found something interesting out here at Ringhaver Park. If you look, the tank is obviously fenced off and padlocked, but this is a similar type tank that Amari fell into. The top appears to be plastic, like the trash can lid that we've heard described out there. And this one, though, you can't get to it. We were told that there were only one other like that throughout Jacksonville, but we just found this one. Ringhaver Park has three types of septic systems with various covers. One that was either plastic or fiberglass, one with a metal padlocked lid, and next to that at a security trailer, we found this tank cover that's fiberglass and bolted down. No one could explain why the park has three different types, but it's something Mayor Curry wants to change and make them all the same. Earlier this week, the mayor said he's also having Public Works and Parks crews inspect all of the city parks. We asked to go along to see what they're actually inspecting, but that request was denied. While out during our inspections today, we did come across a city crew at a park, but they didn't appear to be looking at its septic system. Are you guys inspecting the parks? You can't talk to us? And all today, we examined 12 sites on the far west side and near NAS Jacks. We found that 4 of the 12 were either fenced off or the lids were inside a locked building. We also found numerous covers today that were padlocked. So I'm out here on the far west side, Maxville Park, and if you look at this, there's one of the tanks out here. Now, this one's fiberglass. It's bolted down and it is sturdy on here, but I want to show you something. There's nothing else around here, and you can see some heavy equipment actually came through here, came pretty close. This would be easy to hit and maybe damage. So these are things that the city is looking at. Is this enough protection? There are parks that we found inaccessible, like the Westside Regional Park, which was closed because of storm damage. They have 2 septic tanks, and we'll check that out when they reopen. Jim Piggott, Channel 4, the local station.
And I'm Tarek Miner, and today we travel to 11 city parks, inspecting the underground water tank covers in Arlington, on the south side, the San Jose area, and Mandarin. All the tank covers we saw appeared to be secure, and we noticed fresh footprints in some areas, likely from city maintenance crews performing inspections. Jacksonville Mayor Lenny Curry told us earlier this week he plans to standardize the tank covers at every park. Speaking to parents, some say the mayor should take it one step further.
This is safe, you know, if all the park would have that, this kind of safety, we wouldn't have that kind of problems and, you know, we wouldn't have those bad news.
Ray Robinson is talking about the fencing around the tanks at Cuba Hunter Park. He says this extra layer of protection is needed at all the parks because child behavior is often unpredictable. But the fences aren't foolproof. Look what we found at Sisters Creek Park. The gate to the lift station accidentally left wide open and unsecure. Fortunately, the one sewage tank lid there appeared to be secure. Parents like Alan Calkins say the recent scrutiny on the city's parks is necessary following the death of a 3-year-old boy.
I think that's a good call. It's unfortunate that it takes a tragedy to step the game up a little bit.
I got to say, first of all, as a parent and a grandparent, so relieved that you two went out there and did this in such a timely manner. Tarek, first of all, though, what stood out to you about the city's parks after going to each and every one looking for these potential hazards?
Well, you know, it's the age of the parks, really. You know, like, for instance, Hanna Park was built back in 1967. Compare that to some of the newer parks, and you can really see the difference in the way that these parks are constructed. I noticed that some of the older parks, those, you know, septic tanks are right there by the bathrooms, but the newer parks, the septic tanks could be 2 football fields or even a soccer field away, out of the reach of danger for people. And also, those older parks are harder to maintain. That, to me, appeared to be the major concern.
Jim, you've been to 40 parks since Monday. You've talked to the mayor. You've talked to parents. Tell us what you think. Are these parks safe?
Well, there's a lot of questions, and I'll tell you, the mayor wants to make sure they're safe. He's saying that's why he's doing their whole inspection routine. We want to follow them. They haven't let us do that at this point. talked to a number of parents. Of course, they think the park they're at, they think it's perfectly safe. They say, we look around, but then they're glad that we are taking a look at this to find out, because you never know what you're going to find. I think what I found is there's just no consistency. You have all different types of lids. Yeah. Some, they are falling apart, but they're still sealed. They got a lot of work to do.
And the mayor admitted that, too.
Yeah, he
really
did.
wants to do something about it.
They have a lot of work.
Thank you both.
Definitely. Our coverage continues on news4jax.com. There you can find the latest on the search for answers into 3-year-old Amari Harley's death, as well as our I-Team investigation on septic tanks, which ones were good and which ones were potentially hazardous.